Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our first mysterious X-File vlog episode at RAMAR based on facts. In this and all following episodes we will present you the unsolved mysteries of our planet and universe that we believe to know. I'm Roger from RAMAR. In our first episode we will present you the mysterious facts about one of the greatest remaining mysteries in our world, the pyramids of Giza. We count 2018 years in our modern history. What is the conclusion after all these years of research? We at RAMAR picked 5 mysterious points out of countless pyramid-related mysteries which are based on facts. The first one is the origin, purpose and dating of the pyramids against ancient historical records. Second, higher architectural and conceptual knowledge. Third, traces of higher technological craftsmanship and tools. Fourth, mathematical and geometrical codes. Fifth, planetary and astronomical alignments of the pyramids. The origin, purpose and dating of the pyramids accepted in mainstream science is quite easy. Egyptologists say the pyramids, and especially the Great Pyramid of Giza, has been built as a tomb for the 4th dynasty Egyptian pharaoh Khufu, or also known as Cheops in Greek language, dated around 2580 to 2560 BC. Its present height is 138.8 meters, 230.4 meters in length, has an estimated mass of 5.9 million tons, 2.3 million blocks of lime and granite stone have been transported up to over 800 km along the Nile River from Tura and Aswan. Even in science it remains a mystery how the construction has been achieved exactly, but they suggest some form of a ramp has been used and also the whole planning remains a mystery. Archaeologists support the fact that only very simple tools and materials have been used, like copper chisels, hammers and levers. Many other researchers and also we at RAMAR see clearly some facts existing which support other theories than accepted in science, like Egyptology and archaeology. First of all, the body, mummy or remnants of Cheops never have been found at all. Also around and inside the pyramids, no depictions nor hieroglyphs or cartouches exist of Cheops, except one, which has been allegedly found in the Great Pyramid in 1837 by British explorer Colonel Howard Wyse and his team. Many rumors exist that his finding has been a fraud. It's written in many reports that upon his frustration after several months without success, he himself has drawn this cartouche inside the pyramid, and the cartouche was even wrongly designed and the design was found in a book of his notes. Here are some good sources of information related to this hoax. Here you see a later pyramid of Unas from the 5th dynasty. It is many times smaller and is full of inscriptions of the king who is buried inside it. Also did the German Dominik Gorlitz, Stefan Erdmann and Jan Gartig enter the Great Pyramid in the evening of the 17th April in 2013. They took samples of the cartouche and found particles inside the collar which proved that the cartouche has not been drawn on the original pyramid wall but on later plaster on top of the original limestone block which was used for restoration. This whole story appears to be one of the greatest hoaxes. After all, datings of Egyptologists and archaeologists rely on Colonel Howard Wyse cartouche. It seems very possible that many conclusions of Egyptology and archaeology may be wrong. As Erich von Däniken mentions, ancient historical records of ancient chroniclers exist, like Abu al-Hasan al-Ibn al-Hussein al-Masudi or Taqi ad-Din Abu Labas Ahmed ibn Ali Makrisi, or other sources mention a Ibn Abd al-Hakam. Erich von Däniken found in his research that in the historical records of these chroniclers it's written the story of the pyramids goes way back previous the Great Flood, and the people living there were so primitive that they drank out of the same pond like the animals. Then the clouds opened up and the barks came down. These were the ships of the gods. The first ship was the ship of god Osiris. As first activity, these gods have built schools in the land of the Nile. Then the gods spread out, each of them equipped with a club in their hand, and they forced the Egyptians to go to school. The Egyptian people were very eager to learn. The most intelligent guy was a boy called Saurit, or as the Arabic historians refer, the Hebrews called him Enoch. The gods or teachers chose this boy to teach him their language. Then he was ordered to write scientific books after dictation of his teachers, the watchmen of the firmament. It was known in this time that a great flood will come. Sorry told to the teachers it's nonsense that after all he learned a great flood shall wipe all of humankind. So he begged the teachers to help him, and they supported him to plan the construction of the whole Great Pyramid of Giza. Saurit constructed pyramids with his people, and in many chambers he placed his books. In 4 chambers the teachers added gifts for the future generations, and the pyramid has been sealed with stones to be water resistant. These are extracts of ancient historians which support the theory that there was interaction with a technologically advanced extraterrestrial species, and that the origin, purpose and dating of the Great Pyramid is very different than regarded from our modern historical viewpoint of Egyptologists or archaeologists. Many theories exist for which purpose the pyramids may have been built, from it being described from a hydrogenic power plant up to an astronomical observation center, but the true purpose remains as well a great mystery. This was the first mystery about the origin, purpose and dating of the pyramids, which leads us to the second mystery: higher architectural and conceptual knowledge. Even for the untrained eye and people without engineering degrees, it's very obvious that for the construction of the Great Pyramid a higher architectural and conceptual knowledge has been required. But also many construction engineers like Christopher Dunn or Robert Bovell, who are also honorable researchers and authors about the pyramid mystery, they conclude that there was a higher consciousness behind the construction of the Great Pyramids than mainstream science agrees. In mainstream science it's said that in later periods in the Neolithic age, people lived in settlements inside simple cottage houses, cultivated agricultural areas and knew how to produce simple tools and jewels out of copper. If we compare this technological level against the technological level the Great Pyramids represent, which have been built in this time, even according to mainstream science, the Great Pyramid is an incredible wonder out of nowhere. And by the way, the Great Pyramid is one of the 7 ancient world wonders. We at RAMAR see here a discrepancy to mainstream science because the level of construction technique of the pyramids surpasses the level of technology which was present in the New Stone Age. In our following mysteries, we will even see more proof for the sophisticated technological level and knowledge behind the construction technique, which leads us to mystery number 3. Traces of higher technological craftsmanship and tools. Let's start with the accurate longitude and latitude alignment to the north. The pyramid is exactly aligned to the north, for which a device would have been required they didn't possess in these days. Please don't forget that these people didn't align their cottage houses to north in the Neolithic period, and the compass has been invented 2000 years later. The accuracy of the whole building is incredibly accurate. The huge sidewalls of Cheops pyramid only varies to 1/1000th or 1/10th of a percent. Also does the building contain several shafts and also underground tunnels, which wouldn't be required in a building which was meant as a tomb, in where only a sarcophagus should be stored. There exist drilling holes, which couldn't have been achieved with the suggested simple bronze and stone tools. There is some good footage on YouTube from Brian Forster, as you can see here on YouTube. But also sawing marks were found which just don't fit in the picture of archaeology. Nowadays granite stone is being sawed with saw blades which are tipped with diamond, and it's very inefficient to cut granite with copper because copper is quite too soft and will wear out way too quickly. Still, archaeologists claim only copper pickaxes and chisels, granite hammers, dolerite and other hard stone tools have been used. Some of the stone blocks fit so tight together that it is not possible to fit in a needle. Not only does the whole construction come with a technical design, also the accuracy and the details are stunning. Stunning as well are the similarities to other sites and their sophisticated construction of walls. From Egypt to Easter Island and South America, we see all over the world this advanced construction technique, which is built so rock solid that it can even withstand earthquakes since many thousands of years. But the mysteries of the Great Pyramid doesn't stop here. Now it even gets more mysterious with mystery number 4 and the mathematical and geometrical codes which lie in the construction of the Great Pyramid. The whole building complex illustrates many mathematical and geometrical codes which have been noticed from many researchers. As example, does the position of the Great Pyramid represent the speed of light, as John Charles Webb Jr. found out? John Charles claims the exact coordinates of the Great Pyramid of Giza are at 29.9792458 degrees latitude. The speed of light, which travels at 299,792,458 meters per second, does match this number. By so many digits, it's rather a miracle than a coincidence that these numbers do match exactly. But also if you subtract the circumference inside the inner base area of the pyramids from the outer, you'll get the number of the speed of light. If this is consciously an encoded number or coincidence remains a mystery. Another famous code the pyramid represents is pi. You may divide the max visible length of the sidewall at the base through the height of the pyramid to get the mathematical constant pi. The number pi can be also seen in many other examples. John Taylor was the first person who proposed that the Great Pyramid was based on pi and phi in 1859. If the pyramid would have slightly other measurements, it wouldn't be possible to get the number pi out of the same calculations. But also inside the pyramid the number pi can be found, as the king's chamber perimeter represents pi times 10. The number phi is regarded as a divine proportion and also known as the golden ratio. The number is like 1.618033 and so on, and is used in a very wide range of applications. Also, Mother Nature uses these divine proportions for the construction of nearly every plant on Earth, like flower petals, seed heads, pine cones, tree branches, shells, fingers, hurricanes, animal bodies, DNA molecules, and spiral galaxies. Now, after you divide the pyramid epitheme through the base epitheme, you get the number of phi. But also if you divide the total surface area through the base area, you get phi. If you divide the pyramid epitheme through the height, you get phi squared, 1.272. In mainstream science, the number phi has been found much later from the Greek sculptor and mathematician Phidias, 500 to 432 BC. Egyptologist Dr. Rainer Stadelmann states it's nearly impossible that the Egyptians knew about number pi. The Egyptians in 2500 BC shouldn't have known this yet, but they did. But from where? Are the old Arabic historians telling us the truth about the teachers from the sky? So not only is the whole story of the Great Pyramid also a great mystery, its purpose and sophisticated construction technique or traces of technological devices are mysterious too. But also these mathematical codes are a factual mystery which have been implemented into the Great Pyramid. Endless researchers have investigated this phenomenon like John Taylor, John Charles Webb Jr., Jim Allison, Karl Monk, and many more. Physician Dustin Carr states, "The room masters didn't leave anything by coincidence and all was planned by intention." Mathematician and architect Claude Gensling states, "The hit rate is so high that the probability of coincidence is going infinitesimal against zero." Also does Professor Dr. H.C. Jean Leclanc state that the old Egyptian knew about phi. This leads us to our last but not least mystery for part 1 of this episode. It may sound alien and it really is, because the pyramids of Giza are planetary and astronomically aligned. Jim Allison is the author of the book The Prehistoric Alignment of World Wonders and proves that the distance between Giza to Angkor Wat and Giza to Nazca is representing the number phi. He also measured 2 times pi between Giza over Alaska to Nazca. These seem to be planetary codes, which suggest that these intercontinental sites must have been built consciously in context. Again, it is impossible that this is by coincidence. One of Jim Allison's other findings were so-called sine waves that connect on a circular line or as a meridian around the world many famous ancient sites. The most famous one is the Allison line, which connects dozens of the world's biggest ancient sites. The alignment is 30 degrees of latitude. In the documentation movie called The Pyramid Lie, we can see a nice visualization of their alignment that connects sites within a 100-kilometer wide range. From Peru, where the Paracos are, to Nazca, Ollantaytambo, Machu Picchu, Cusco, Sacsayhuaman, to the Paratuari pyramids. In Africa, the land of the Dogons, which knew series A and B in Algeria through Tassili Nacher. Then in Egypt through Siwa, but also on the other side of the world, it crosses through ancient Mesopotamia, Ur, Persepolis in Iran, Mohenjo-Daro in Pakistan, Khajuraho in India, Pi in Burma, Angkor Wat in Cambodia, and up to the end of the world in Easter Island. It nearly seems to be unbelievable, but this alignment is a fact, and any coincidental viewpoints seem to be ridiculous. We may know now all these sites are connected together, but what this does mean stays a mystery they share. But the incredible alignments do not end on our planet Earth. They go even much further into the stars. You remember the shafts I was talking about earlier? In 1964, astronomer Virginia Trimble and Egyptologist Alexander Bedaway found out that 4 of the shafts point to the star system of Orion, Sirius, Kochab and Tuban from Draconis. Robert Bowell presents this mystery very well in this presentation on YouTube and his book Black Genesis, The Origins of Ancient Egypt. In 1983, engineer and astronomer Robert Bowell recognized an astronomical correlation between the belt of Orion and the pyramids while he was on a camping expedition with his family. This finding resulted in the famous Orion correlation theory because the locations of the 3 pyramids clearly relate to the star constellation of the Orion's belt. The Orion and Sirius star constellation are represented by the goddess Osiris and Isis in Old Egypt. Robert Bowell says Tzep-Tep, translated from Egypt, means the first time and is meant as cradle of civilization in Egypt and points to Osiris and Isis when they established and ruled the first civilization. Robert Bowell could date it to around 10,500 BC, where the constellation of the Orion belt matches the aligned layout of the pyramids. This conclusion has been done right after Robert M. Schoch raised up the theory upon the water erosion of the Sphinx, dating it to over 10,000 BC. 1999. Dr. Hans Jalito published in his book Pyramids and Planets that the relations of the chambers inside the pyramid correspond to the distances between our planets in our solar system. These archaeoastronomic findings are compelling and shouldn't be neglected from science. After all these mysteries and facts, the theory of extraterrestrial influence sounds not only reasonable but also makes sense. We at RAMAR don't say that aliens built the pyramids, but we have to conclude that a higher form of intelligence has been required to build the Great Pyramids in Giza, and for this time the Egyptians didn't possess themselves the relevant knowledge to build the pyramids. And it sounds feasible if they were supported by extraterrestrial beings which were regarded as gods. We collect mysteries at RAMAR and present you the current facts related to them. We hope we could inspire you with the existing facts to the mysteries of the Great Pyramid. You can view the sources in our description. Now let's add the pyramid onto our list of points of interest and the related pyramid facts to our list of fingerprints of the unsolved mysteries, which shall grow over time and show us hidden connections. Many other mysteries exist on Earth, and we will present you them in our following episodes, like other great ancient sites or mysterious technological artifacts which shouldn't exist, archaeological artifacts of strange elongated skulls or giants, profound UFO sightings, crop circles, extraterrestrial phenomena or anomalies on other planets like Mars or the Moon, but also abilities of outstanding powers. The list goes on. Please share this video to inspire your friends, and in case you didn't subscribe yet to be updated, please subscribe. You can follow us on Facebook or visit our homepage to report a mystery, ask a question or give an answer, information or suggestion. All details and sources are in the description below. I'm happy to see you in our next episode about the next mysterious X-file based on facts. Until then, I wish you the greatest mystery of love and a very inspiring great time.